Welcome to Investment Talk Only with Johnny Ruiz. It's time to get to the money. It's investment talk only. If you say you got the money, gotta show me. A lot of people talk, but that be phony. I just remember what Jerry Mack told me.
Yo, what's good?
What up?
Investment Talk Only. I'm Johnny Ruiz. Got my co-host.
Monique.
What up, man? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah, so wanted to get back in the groove of things. I know I look kind of different. Lost some weight. Got the curls. Well, it's not really curly right now. It's more nappy, but that's the style I'm going with right now.
I like it. I'm feeling it.
Coming back better.
Yes. Coming back richer.
Back and I'm better. Yeah. So before we get in the groove of things, there's a lot of catching up to do, but please go ahead, like and subscribe, and even comment if you want to. If you don't like it, you can also hit the thumbs down button, but tell us why you don't like the video. But just go ahead and get that stuff out the way, so we don't have to wait to the end. So
if you miss us, tell us that too.
Yeah.
I miss us. Shit.
Yeah, man, I miss us too, and I think this will be kind of like the more of the flow of things, like not on a schedule, just like impromptu. Like if we want to do 2 a week, 3 week, 1 a month, like we could just do
that. I'm down with that.
Yeah. I think I like that a little bit better as well.
I feel like we'll have more to talk about, more to discuss.
Yeah, it's just like we're not just talking just to talk. We're talking.
I can talk just to talk.
Yeah, like there's some good stuff to talk about.
There is. Like, I want to know what the hell you've been up to in the past, however, 10 months or whatever it's been. Like, I know that you've had a lot of growth. I know I've had a lot of growth. And I was like looking at our old channel, like our old videos, like from 11 months, almost a year since our first one. And I'm just like, I was like, yo, it's crazy. And I haven't listened to it yet fully. But I'm like, I know where I was at knowledge-wise a year ago. I was just like learning, really didn't know shit. And like now I'm like on a whole different level.
Yeah.
I'm like, if I'm on a whole different level, I know your ass on a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? So
I would say so. Yeah.
So like, just what have you been up to? Like comparison from almost a year ago.
Okay. First of all, I want to reemphasize how cool it is that we actually have a YouTube show, that we can go on the platform and just reach out to the people anytime we want to. That's super dope. And that we have a hip hop intro.
I think our intro is the dopest. Again, shout out to Lester on that.
Yeah, shout out to Lester on that one. But we have a hip hop intro of our investment show. That's pretty cool. But so what I've been up to, I stay busy, so I've been up to a lot. I think the main one is starting a nonprofit with my friend Charles Martinez, and he's also known as CL Kid. I think our next episode, I want to have him on there so we could kind of introduce our nonprofit and explain things. Yeah, he's really cool. Really good-hearted person. So we started a nonprofit. It's called Be the Reason. We want to do a few things. We want to be in a community and kind of encourage young people to also be in a community and make change. So one of the first things that we're going to do is start investment clubs for high schools in Orange County and Seminole County in Central Florida.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah,
do you already have it like up and rolling, or you guys are like?
So we have so what we're gonna do basically, we're gonna have like, obviously we have to have like some type of curriculum. So for throughout the school year, we can teach them investing. So we had to create that, and that took a lot of time to do. So we did that. Of course, all the business stuff, all the legal stuff. And now actually next week we're going to have some appointments with a few of the principals of the schools to kind of like pitch our idea to them.
That's super cool.
Yeah, and I really don't see a reason why they won't do it, because if you look at their clubs online, like they don't have investment clubs. Like,
oh no,
they don't have anything to do with money. They have the craziest stuff. Like,
Sewing club, the chess club. That's what your ass was part of in this.
Yeah,
The
chess club, which is cool and stuff but
Yeah.
and it's like, you don't get anything like real substance out of like most like 80% of the clubs that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna focus on um aggressively more of the schools that know in the poorer communities, so we can make that change and stop that cycle of poverty. And we want to teach about money and investing, so we could stop that cycle, and they could hopefully could play a part in stopping that cycle of that ongoing poverty in the same communities.
I
So
love it.
super excited about that. Super excited
Are you
about
guys
that.
taking volunteers? Like, how does that work?
Oh
Like, if I
yeah.
wanted to help, like, if I wanted to be a part, I would love to be a part of something like that. Especially, like, just to have a female on there.
Oh yeah, that would be dope.
I
Yeah.
would do that.
So the goal is we want to reach out to as many high schools as we can. The priority is the communities, the high schools in the communities of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we definitely need more people to be at different places at one time. So
I'm down.
yeah, if you're down, or if anybody's listening or watching, if you are interested in helping out, just reach out to me. Um, we have our social media links at the bottom of the YouTube. But
Mm-hmm.
reach out, and if you want to help out, that'd be great. But yeah, but we're looking for manpower all the time.
Yeah, definitely let me know. Like, we could talk about it offline, but I'm super down for that. Like, I'm off on Fridays. I make my own schedule for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm ready.
And then another thing we were doing, same person, me and Charles,
Mm-hmm.
we're making a course, actually a few courses. So
Mm.
we're doing an investment course. So just a general course, from knowing nothing to basically like mastery level.
Mm.
So you could get the course, and you could either buy the whole course or buy it in segments.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have a different course on options.
Ooh.
And then I talked to somebody. I got some good feedback. I was like, "Hey, I got this investment course. So we already got the content down. I'm just still like putting the finishing touches to it."
Mm-hmm.
And this person was like, "I would never buy your course."
Why? That's fact.
She said, "Because I don't even know how to handle money. I'm not comfortable with money." And she's like, "You should have a course about money." I was like, "Dang, that's a good idea. Now I gotta make a course about just everyday money."
That's true.
And I was like, "Now I gotta give you 4% because that was dope." So she was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "So basically, you're saying I'm trying to teach you step 2, but you don't even know step 1 yet." She was like, "Yes."
That is true.
Yeah. So
that is like I get where she's coming from 100%.
Yeah. So 3 courses coming out very soon. Basically like everyday money management.
Mm-hmm.
So this is from like working, investing a little bit, different tidbits about making big purchases, like buying a house and stuff like that, credit card management, and all the way up to like retirement, and even the kind of strategy to get into retirement. And I learned all this stuff as being a financial manager or financial advisor at Merrill. So I know all this stuff. So I was like, man, I do know this stuff. So might as well put it out there. So
that's super, super cool. I'm so proud of you.
yeah, it's pretty
I
cool.
love it.
A lot of exciting stuff.
No, because there be mad people, I be posting and they're like hit me up and they want to invest, but they're like, yo, I don't even know where to where to get the $20 from to do it. Like, they
Exactly.
They don't the managing of the money is not there,
Yeah, they're like,
life.
I have
So it's
enough
like,
problems just handling my money in my bank.
Exactly. So like, yo, like I just overdrafted yesterday. Like, you telling me to invest,
Yeah, and I give in the course we give like tidbits of how to get more money, like how to find ways for, instead of having those $20 that you think you have, scrape up $100, and that $100, if you do it every month, I mean that adds up to a lot. And then you invest that and grow it. I mean, you just have more. So like little tidbits like that. So it's pretty cool. But what about you? So
me?
Yeah, this whole time that we've been away, what have you been up to? What have you think you like I guess, grew in knowledge because we haven't stopped communicating at all,
Well,
especially in the investment chat that we have,
yeah,
where this all started from. I
exactly.
mean, it's been like probably more busier than ever.
Exactly. That chat, like,
Yeah.
hey, every day.
So where do you think you're at? You could even reference from a year ago or since we
I'll
had
go from,
last aired.
well, even from a year ago. So a year ago, I'm over here like, so what's a stock? Okay, so what's the stock market? Like, I was just so like, I didn't know anything. Like, I was just like, let's do the podcast. I'm down. I'm supportive of you. You're my brother, and I'll learn along the way. But I didn't know shit. Like, I just knew, not that I didn't know shit. I just knew a little bit, like a little bit, but I didn't know to the point of like to be at a point of like making like lots of money, like a significant amount of money or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I was just like learning and just kind of like I was just sitting in the room. That's how I'm gonna call it. I was sitting in the room full of people that have knowledge, and I was able to have conversations here and there. But I was just sitting and listening and observing. Right. Then, like by the time like where we left off, like our last podcast, I had started getting into. I think I had just bought my first option or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Oh, what's this? And this is cool." Like I felt like, and I was still like trying to do swing trading or whatever option calls, but I didn't know. And my goal was to get to a point that I could start trading, which is different than, and we could probably discuss that later on, but it's different than buying a stock and letting it sit and waiting, watching it grow or not grow or whatever. I was like, damn, how does I want to do what Johnny's doing? Like I want to be in and out. I want to be boom making money, whatever. So that was my goal. So with the investment talk, like the chat that you have, there's so many different people in there with different ideas, not just about investing in the stock market, but just like how to invest period in life, how to use what you got to get what you want, basically. Right. So I'm like, I'm going to use what I got to get what I want. I'm going to use things that my resources that I have already. You know what I'm saying? I own my home, this and that, whatever. Like I'm going to use all these things, this knowledge to bring money in to make more money, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I put a strategy in place. I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this to do that, like move the puzzle pieces around basically to get what I want to do. And I did that. Basically, I became trader. Like I don't sit I still have my full-time job because I actually enjoy my job, and I just don't feel comfortable to be at a point of where you're at, where I'm looking at your screen now. You got the charts up right now or whatever. You have things up right now. Like this is what you
Yeah.
do all day every day. You eat, breathe, like you sleep, like this is what you do. And I don't do that. So I don't feel comfortable just deucing on my job and quitting. But what I do feel comfortable is I'm like, yo, I want to go on a trip. I want to go buy this.
Yeah, you
Three,
could just dabble in it, make some
exactly.
good
I
side money and stuff. Yeah.
side money. I'm like, oh, I want to go do this. Let me jump in right here real quick. Let me see what I got. Blah, 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 boom, $300-400. All right, I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go use that to do whatever. So it's like residual income, like side money, until I feel I'm at a point of knowledge or dedication to commit myself to it full time. But right now I'm like, I still have my full-time job and I have this. I'm like, it's great. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We don't go without. Like,
It is great. Like having that like two incomes basically. Because I
yeah.
remember I told you the reason why I started it, like the full time trading, I was always investing in like swing trading, but the
Mm-hmm.
full time trading is because the pandemic and they furloughed us,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I'm the main breadwinner in the house. I was like, yo, how am I gonna make up this income? Like,
You got 5 kids.
still gotta get paid, yeah. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, let me really start trading and learning it, and I found out that man, I'm making way more money, and then like you said, like the two incomes, I was like, yo, this is great, like.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, just doing it just for that. Nobody's saying you have to quit your job and
Yeah.
be a dedicated trader. You could just have extra income for
Yeah.
like you said, your trips that you like. If you want to go out to eat and stuff like that, you can do that. But hey, so two things happened where I know like you grew,
Well,
because when you start calling out plays in the chat,
I know you were like, oh shit.
I'm like, okay, calling out plays now. I see you. right? Because I call out plays all the time or whatever, and I don't know if people jump on them, but I know some people. But anyways, calling out plays, and then one time this wasn't in a chat, but it was on the side. You said, "Yo, I just made, I forgot how much it was, but it was a couple $100."
Yeah, I just saved 500 today.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I didn't even make that today. I was like, oh my god, I need to get back on it.
And I did it from my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was just like, I was working, I was like, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I was so hyped. I was like, yo, this is crazy.
A lot of people going, our aunt Tanya, she's doing her thing, learning stuff. She saying stuff. I'm like, yo, I didn't know she knew all that. And another one, Sergeant Smith, Dewan Smith from the Army. Hopefully you're watching. Shout out to you. He gave that long paragraph because we said something in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he's like, oh, so I've been studying. He's like, so what you mean by this is, and he broke everything down. I was like, yo, that's dope.
I know.
Because I didn't even know, like, people pay attention like that, but they are. That's cool. Know.
And what really pushed me, to be honest, because I was kind of like, was Jessie, like, my friend Jessie or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. She started asking me questions about stuff, and like she started getting really into it, and I'm like, she started asking me questions, but I didn't have the answer. But I'm not gonna be like, I'm just not the type of person like, oh, I don't know. So I started researching stuff, and that's what got me, really pushed me into like kind of pushed me over the cliff, because I started researching the answers so we can learn together. And like her and I, literally every day we'd be like calling each other like, yo, this is that, and like talking about it. And like she's grown so much from it, like just from the chat or whatever. She's buying options. She'd be like, oh, she'd be calling, she's like, yeah, I jumped into this. Or she'll call me, she's like, yo, go look at this. This is running right now. I'm like, shut up. I'll be jumping in. But I think the day I made 500, I think it was because of her. So I was like, yeah, she hit me up. She's like, yo, did you see blah, 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 blah? And I'm like, what? And when I'm like, damn, I jumped in. So it's like, the community is like getting so strong. And these are all people from last year. Like, didn't know, we were not like knowing anything. And we're just like literally feeding off of each other and just like pushing each other and motivating each other and just learning together and making money together.
Yeah, exactly. Making money together. Because I get the good takeaway from this conversation is that the more you're just like around the lingo and the conversation, the more you just get the stuff by just osmosis alone. And then it's much easier as far as stress wise and just energy wise to, this is gonna be a corny term, but hunt as a pack versus solo. So when you putting out plays on the chat, like, yo, look out for this, look at this.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Damar, who's been on the show, first guest, he was like, yo, I just made $250 off of that play. Thank you. I was like, I need that 4% though. And he said the way my bank account set up, I was, oh, see, man, you playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, calling out plays and stuff, I mean, like, and we're all eating off of it. I mean, that's great. That's cool stuff.
And one of the things too is like just the mental of it, because you could call out plays all day, but are you gonna jump? Are you gonna do it? Like that one time you hit me up and you're like, yo, jump into this, and some people jumped into it and some people didn't. Some people made good money. Like I like, that was for me. Yo, if you tell me to do something, and this is maybe not the best tactic to have, but I trust you with it. Like, I'm flying. You be like, Monique, I swear I packed your parachute. You don't have time to check, just jump. I'm like, shit. All right, I'm jumping. Don't know if my parachute is packed, but I'm jumping because I trust you or whatever. So I don't know how that's
I hit you up. I was like, I don't know if you have it, but if you don't have this, you better get it right now.
Yeah.
And it was like a day or two later. Whew.
I know. It was just like, I was like, this is crazy. That was like my first like real oh my God,
So to go off of that, because I wanted to mention this, because I want to take a quick bragging moment.
Okay.
In the chat, we broke a record. So shout out to Mario. He had the record in our chat for, I think, 1,000% and some change.
Crazy.
But I broke it.
What was yours? Oh yeah, I remember that.
1,263% return on one trade. Oh my God. So nasty. It was AMD.
I was like, how? I still haven't figured out that. I'm not at that level. So
that was just a flawless trade. Actually, that's another good point. What I guess we'll get into the trading
Mm-hmm.
thing. But so when you trade,
Mm-hmm.
your best trades are the easiest trades. You
Okay.
don't have to make them easy because they are easy. They just are. So
Okay.
that's the best trade. So if you have to like figure out like, oh, I should average down or do this or I wait a little bit longer, you're
Mm-hmm.
doing too much. You probably just need to go on. The best trades are the easiest trades. And that was so easy, that trade. I went into AMD. I just saw it was getting beat up. I was like, this is AMD. And any day now it should turn around based on what I'm looking at in the chart.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like a day or two later, max 3 days, just skyrocket. And then like a few weeks later, like a month, 1,263%. Man.
Like know the number by heart.
Oh yeah.
1,262%.
Oh yeah. I got screenshots of it. Like that's legendary status. That's Super Saiyan status. But so you say you wanted to touch on, because people get mixed up like trading versus investing.
Yeah. So people like hit me up and are like, "Oh, Monique, like, what do I need to?" And I try to explain. I'm like, I don't really invest long term. So it's weird because I do the options with the 2023 calls, which is long term, I guess you could say. But
Yeah.
like the stock, buying a individual stock, like I'm gonna go in and buy Tesla, I'm not holding that forever. Like I'm in and out. And I'm like, I'm trading. I'm not technically investing in a stock. And there nobody really understands what I'm trying to say. And I get it because last year around this time when I would ask you stuff and you're like, oh, I trade, and I'm like, okay, what does that even mean? So can you explain a little bit about like the difference between the trading and the actually invest, like swing trading and long term and all that stuff?
So think about investing as like you really believe in this company and you're gonna hold it no matter what it does. So usually this is for 5 to 10 years. People think about investing, but really, technically, the definition anything over a year is like investing.
Mm-hmm.
But a true investor will say 5 to 10 years. I'm holding this for 5 to 10 years, and I don't care what happens between. If I really believe in the company and nothing changes about like their thesis, their core business model, then I'm keeping it. I'm gonna keep the stock of that company. Now, a trader, they don't do that. They say, hey, um, I like this company or this stock because of where it's at on the charts, and I want to take advantage of its swings, its up and downs. So it could be either from the upside or the downside. Traders could benefit from both sides. And so let's take Apple for example. If I'm an investor and I like Apple, I know I'm gonna hold it for like 5 to 10 years, but minimum over a year.
Yeah.
But if I'm trading Apple, I'm gonna buy it at its low, sell it at its high, and when it comes back down, if there's a correction time or something like that, I'll buy it again at the bottom, and then sell it again at the top. I'm just taking advantage of all those swings. So traders are short term, investors are long term. So anything under a year is considered a trade, and then anything over a year is considered like an investment.
Right, and then you primarily day trade, right? So like that's you're in and out in the same day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes a few minutes, but yeah, definitely. Like I won't hold anything beyond the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now I do options, leaps. So leap options are anything options where the expiration expire over a year later, because they have good returns and they're pretty hands off and you don't have to monitor them. But as far as like active income, yeah, day trading, just in and out. And a swing trade is so if I buy something today and sell it tomorrow morning, what do you think that is? You think that's a day trade or a swing trade?
Well, a swing trade because it's not the same day. A swing trade because it's not the same day.
Exactly. I was just testing you because
I was like,
you just talked about your growth. I was like, is you really? Let me see.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah. So even technically, it could be like I buy the last 15 minutes of today, and I sell the first 15 minutes of the next day. I still technically a swing trade, even though you held it just for a few minutes
Yeah.
Live market hours. And then day trade, I could buy it early in the morning and sell the last minute of the day, and it's still a day trade. So it's just if you buy and sell the same business day.
Yeah. So for example, like when people be like, yo, like when sometimes I'll post stuff depending, and I'll be like, yo, up $300 or up 50, whatever, 30%, blah, blah, blah. And then people are like, well, what, like, how the fuck, like they want to get in. And I'm like, oh, but I'm going to sell today. Like it's just right. It's just going up right now. Like the volume is just going up and and then it's going to go. And there people are like, I want to get into it. But the sucky or shitty part of day, like being able to day trade, you have to have at least 25 grand in your brokerage account to day trade, right?
Yeah, and then even people like that, the beginners, you want to be careful with that because you know a lot of people could lose their money not knowing what to do because they're beginners. So you always want to lean on the side of preaching to them long term, because long term always wins out. So if you look at a chart, like a 1 year, 2 year, or 5 year chart, something long term, you'll just see the gradual rise of the stock market. When you look down and you know you get closer, there's ups and downs in there, and that's where a lot of people lose money trying to trade when they're not traders, because they didn't acquire that skill yet. But if you just held the long term, you would have made money from here to there. But if you try to trade and so you just want to like preach the long term. I mean, and it's true. Long term does win out if you just hold and you have a great company.
Don't want to wait, like they try to make money today. They try to go to Red Lobster, or not Red Lobster, but like, yo. So everyone, take a moment, hit that subscribe button right there, down below. Subscribe, like, and share. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at investment_talk_only_MDI. Yes, that's the name. And definitely hit us up in the DM, or you can email us at admin@mdinvestmentsllc.com. We definitely want to hear from you. We want your questions. We want your feedback. So hit us up. Anyways, let's get back to this money investment talk only.
If you just hold and you have a great company,
don't want to wait, like they try to make money today. They try to go to Red Lobster, or not Red Lobster, but like Lobster, whatever.
Beyonce.
It is. Who?
Beyonce. Take it to Red Lobster.
Yeah, they trying to go eat some lobster, some crab. You know.
Yeah, I mean, so the part of investing is that you can lose it all. Like let's take an example of a great company that everybody knows, Wells Fargo. A few years back, like I said, everybody knows them. News came out, some bad news that there was some fraudulent stuff going on, and the stock just went pew. Now it didn't go all the way, but for another company, another company could have probably went bankrupt for that. So you can actually lose all your money in the stock market. So you should use money that you don't need. That's the point. So you shouldn't need it for Red Lobster.
The hard part.
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't need it for Red Lobster.
Yeah, you shouldn't need it for Red Lobster. You keep your Red Lobster money in your checking account. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So
I don't know why I said Red Lobster. Lobster just came to my mind, and I said Red Lobster. I don't know. I'm tired.
I'm not mad at you.
No, but it's just funny because like Red Lobster's not even like there's like some bougie ass restaurants, and I said Red Lobster.
Yeah, I went
back in the day when it first came out, like Olive Garden, Red Lobster, all of them used to be like you got to get dressed up and go and eat.
Yeah, that was back in the day. I was like, my wife wants to go to like Ruth Chris and stuff. Like, what happened to Red Lobster?
That's why you gotta make that money. Yeah. Yo, she ain't playing. She's like, I don't want this. We're not going to risk Chris.
Lifestyle's expensive.
No, your kids be wanting to go. Your kids bougie. They be like, Titi, can you go to Starbucks? Like, can we stop at Starbucks, Mike, or Chick-fil-A? I'm like, what happened to McDonald's? Y'all don't eat McDonald's? Like,
yeah, I take JD out on date night. I don't know why, but it's like she feels obligated to buy when we go to Red Lobster, the ultimate feast every time. Like it's like she feels obligated. Like she. Oh my god.
She's probably like, "Shoo, I don't get this every single day, so I'm about to
Mm-hmm.
take advantage." But sorry for whenever they start dating and stuff, they're gonna be like, my daddy be getting me the ultimate feast, so
Yep.
don't be telling me get the 2 for $20 or whatever it is.
The 2 for $20, yeah.
Yeah, like I ain't getting 2 for $20.
So what else we got on the list? Yeah.
One of the last things I want to touch on is what's happening in the market like right now.
Oh, that's a good question. All right, so if you just like study the stock market and look at the charts, let's say like 5 years, you see like stuff tends to happen sometimes around the same time. So right now we're in September, and September in particular and around February, March is particularly a time for corrections. And so if you don't know what a correction is it's a moment in time where the stock market or just an individual stock has been running high, running hot, and it's just been like killing it, and everybody's making money off of it. But at some point, it has to take a rest. Like it gets overbought, and a correction comes. So a correction is any dip that's over 10%. So it's usually like 10 to like 20%. You could just average out to 15. All right. So any dip that's over 10%. And those could be like really like killers to somebody's portfolio, especially if you're playing options. September is a month that a lot of times it kind of happens around that time. I don't know why it's September, but I know one of the reasons why it's the end of a quarter, and big money managers they like to take profits at the end of quarters, so they can say like, "Hey, look all the money we made you," and they start selling, and especially after it's been hot for a while. So we're in September now, the end of September. We had a little dip. It was around a little bit over 5%. It wasn't actual a real correction, so there's still some worry that a real correction could be coming, maybe in October. But for now, we had a kind of a good dip. What's it like a correction dip? But right now, I mean, we're in the middle of a bull market, or even the beginning of a bull market, like long term. And this correction is just like will be just short term pain. It will be pain, but yeah, it will be pain. But so right now, I think we're in a healthy in the first year of a president term. It's really a hard year, and so a lot of people are getting frustrated this year because like it's kind of hard to predict what's going to happen. A lot of stocks aren't moving along with like what the fundamentals say. Take GameStop for example. You know, they're up this year, and everybody thinks they're a horrible company. So
one of those meme stocks or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the meme stock. So, but the first year is always a rough year because there's a new president. He's trying to implement all his policies and stuff like that. So, just historically, it's not a great year. But we are in a bull trend for the next like 2 to 3 years, and around this time it should get a little rocky. But at the end of the year, like November, December, it will end up good with that Christmas rally.
Nice. I got some leaps on target. So I'm like, right now it's like down, and I'm like, yo, I need this Christmas season or whatever. I need everybody to be shopping at Target. You know what I'm saying? And
where does everybody shop at for Christmas?
Target, right?
Amazon.
Oh yeah, I know, but Amazon is pretty pricey. So
yeah, it's pricey for a reason.
Yeah, I shop there all the time.
And then so then you definitely should be investing.
I know, but
you need that money back. And then stuff like the ticker symbol VFC, the company that owns North Face.
Oh.
In the wintertime, they tend to go up. If people are buying
VFC.
coats. VFC.
I'm gonna put that on my watch list for tomorrow. Hold on, I gotta do this.
But if you don't have anything else, we can do the stock of the week.
Yes, let's do stock of the week. VFC? Just kidding.
No.
I'm about to find this VFC real quick.
So I'm gonna give a few though, because we haven't done this in a while.
Okay.
I'll give you my main one, but then I'll give other ones.
All right.
And I feel like I almost could be wrong about this, but I don't think I am. All right. So the stock of the week is Snap.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna be looking this stuff up as you're saying. So Snap, was it? Oh, like legit, it's SNAP.
Yeah. Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit, it has like a good. Wow. Damn, that shit went from 1948 last year all the way up to $80. Its high was at 85 in August. That's crazy. What are they doing that makes it so?
I'll tell you in a second.
Okay.
Huh? Oh, take pictures. Oh yeah. Actually, I have a presentation. I'm pretty sure I sent it to you in the chat. Send it to everybody, their presentation. But anyway, I'll talk about that in a second. But just strictly looking at the charts, it looks like Snap wants to like break out. And so when we say break out, that means that there's a resistance level that the price like keeps on hitting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of, it's really hard to get it. But it's hit this level so many times that we think we're gonna buy out all the sellers and just break out. So that's kind of like a breakout. So it looks like it wants to break out, and it looks like in October, if it does break out, it's at around $79, $80. That level is a resistance level. If it breaks out, I think it could run to like 85, 88.
Nice.
Good profit based on like a $79 price.
Yeah.
So based off the charts, it looks like it could break out like soon.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It does look really good.
Next week or the week after, and then October it should run, I think. Okay. But you said, what do they do? So
yeah, like just take pictures and stuff, right?
So they're actually like pretty innovative. I must explain this horribly, I know, but one of the things that they're doing, like with their technology and their platform, is like I know one of the things for sure you can do is like actually like fit clothes without being in a store.
What?
Yeah, you can see how it fits on you, and you hold the camera and whatever, and you pick the attire that you want to wear, and you see how it fits on you.
That's great.
Yeah, and so you won't actually have to be in the store to see what you like. And Snapchat is doing that. And then as far as like filters with the face and all that stuff, but now they're doing filters of their environment. So you can like have a picture, people take picture from the Eiffel Tower and stuff. They'll filter the environment to have cool filters. And then they're doing some other stuff with AR and VR that are that associates with the platform. So yeah, they're just not taking pictures. Like they're doing some pretty cool stuff where like it's practical stuff that somebody can use. And then photo enthusiasts like that filter of their environment, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, so a lot of people are excited for what Snapchat's doing. And like I said, I have a deck. I'll send it to you again, but it just highlights all that stuff and explains it. It's like, yeah, Snapchat's pretty impressive. All right, so that's the stock of the week. But I got some other ones I'm looking at since we haven't done this in a while.
Okay.
So these are ones that have been getting beat up for a while, and they're good companies. So they're like any moment they're gonna break out. All right. The stock symbol, the first one is V for Visa. They've been getting beat up, and it's already started like its run. All right. The next one is Roku, and that looks like it's already started waking up. It's been getting beat down for a while. It's at $4.90. It hit to 309 the other day. What a discount. And I want to talk about discount and dips. It's about Dan Ives explained this. He's a research analysis. Yeah, imagine having your favorite slice of pizza that you get all the time. And imagine that you find out it's for sale. So you could get the same slice of pizza for a way steeper price. So when these stocks go on sale like that, that's how you gotta think of it. I'm getting the same stock just for a different price.
Yeah.
It went from $4.90 to $3.09. I think it's at $3.35 today.
Yeah, it is $2.35 right now. Looking at it.
Roku. All right, and then we have Nvidia and AMD. They kind of move together because they're chip companies. Specifically AMD, especially because it's cheaper, looks like it wants to break out. It's at 105 right now, I think.
106.
106. Oh, good. I got in on that. I think it could go to like 108, 110, like pretty soon. Then we have Amazon.
Okay, I don't always watch those.
Ticker symbol MRNA. Moderna.
Amazon is $3,416 per share.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yep,
that's crazy.
Those are ones that I'm watching to see. I think it has some upside. And the last one, and I don't know about this one. Shout out to Eddie. I actually took this one out on a date, and then I had to send her back to the streets. It's ARKK. Like I had, and I tried. I tried to save her. I tried to give her a chance. She just wasn't acting right. This was like a month or two ago, and every time I think she's gonna break out, she just doesn't. I don't know what's up with ARKK. I don't know where
I used to have that a while back, but it wasn't doing nothing for me. So
it hasn't been doing nothing all year. But I'm like, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's ready. And I still might go back. But ARKK, I don't know. But it's tempting right now. As far as it's down, so those are ones to look out for.
Yeah, I added them all to my watch list. So
let's make this money.
I'm excited. I have to continue learning, and I just see the significant growth I've had in a year, and that's just me like kind of putting some stuff in, So I'm ready. I just need to like pretend like I'm in college or something, and just really set times. Like, all right, from this time to this time, I'm going to dedicate. So like Jessie, she's about to start school, and her classes are like 3 hours a day or something like that. So I told her, I said, all right, since we talk all the time anyways, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to act like I'm in school too. So while you're in school, you have these designated times, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to kind of act like I'm in school too. And then I was like, I'll have my knowledge of what I'm doing, like, my classes, courses or whatever. And I was like, at the end of the week, you talk to me about whatever you learn, and I talk to you about whatever I learn. And like, we're basically sharing the knowledge, so that's where I'm at. I'm like, we're basically sharing the knowledge. So it'll be like the way to study, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna study stock stuff, and I'll share what I learn with you, and what you're studying, you share what you learn with me. Trying to kill two birds with one stone. That's that.
Yeah, it's good. Me and Eddie don't have that like same thing, but we always bouncing like information off each other.
Yeah.
So it's like
good to have that, like that person that you can do that with, and it keeps you motivated. It keeps you hype, keeps your knowledge flowing, and keeps you hype. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a competitive person, so if I ever feel like somebody got the edge on knowledge on me, and something I care about, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta study more. So I'm like, oh damn, man, Eddie's on his thing. How many videos you watch today?
No, we're not competitive like that. We'd be like, I'm like, yo, you eating, I'm eating. Like, yo, let me get something off your plate. Like, that's how we are. We don't
I'm competitive. It's kind of like people will know, like Steph and Klay Thompson. They're 3-point shooters, so they always cheer for, and their teammates, they always cheer for each other to break their record. but only so they can break the record.
Oh.
Yeah. So and then they're like, all right, so yeah, I'm breaking that. I just want to let you know. So that's how I am. Like, no, I want you to do good. Only I can get further, and then you can.
Yeah. That's good though. That's dope. That's good.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's good. We covered a lot today. Cool, I mean, I'm looking forward to the next one, whenever that is.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty soon. Like I said, I want to get Charles on here. And, yeah, and he's in the investment game too, so we chop it up about that. So this was great. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't. Don't know why you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the alert so you can get these notifications every time we post. But besides that, thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Johnny Ruiz, and my co-host,
Monique.
It's Investment Talk Only.
Show me the money. Investments are only. We keeping it coming. We keeping it coming. Show me the money. Investments are only. We keeping it coming.